Nirmana jita sanga dosha Atyatma nitya vinivrita kamaha Dandair vimutkah sukha dukkha samgyair Gacchante mutkah padama vyayam tat. Word by word translation. Nihi, without. Mana, false prestige. Moha, and illusion. Jita, having conquered. Sangha, of association. Doshaha, the fault. Adhyatma, in spiritual knowledge. Nityaha, in eternity. Vinivritta, disassociated. Kamaha, from lust. Dvandvaih, from the dualities. Vimuktaha, liberated. Sukha dukkha, happiness and distress. Samgyaih, named. Gacchanti, attain. Amuthaha, unbewildered. Padam, situation. Avyayam, eternal. Tat, that. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Can we together repeat this translation? Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Perpetual. The surrendering process is described here very nicely. The first qualification is that one should not be deluded by pride, because the conditioned soul is puffed up, thinking himself the lord of material nature. It is very difficult for him to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should know by the cultivation of real knowledge that he is not lord of material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord. When one is free from delusion caused by pride, he can begin the process of surrender. For one who is always expecting some honor in this material world, it is not possible to surrender to the Supreme Person. Pride is due to illusion, for although one comes here, stays for a brief time, and then goes away, he has the foolish notion that he is the Lord of the world. He thus makes all things complicated, and he is always in trouble. The whole world moves under this impression. People are considering the land, this earth, to belong to human society, and they have divided the land under the false impression that they are the proprietors. One has to get out of this false notion that human society is the proprietor of this world. When one is freed from such a false notion, he becomes free from all the false associations caused by familial, social, and national affections. These faulty associations bind one to this material world. After this stage, one has to develop spiritual knowledge. One has to cultivate knowledge of what is actually his own and what is actually not his own. And when one has an understanding of things as they are, he becomes free from all dual conceptions such as happiness and distress, pleasure and pain. He becomes full in knowledge. Then it is possible for him to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namam Shnupadaya Krishna Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Krishna Sramiti Namina Prabhupada Saitya Meha Prakashivati Richa Pracham Hare Krishna. Thank you very much that you gave me a possibility to speak in this very sacred Purushottama month. It's so beneficial for everybody. Yesterday we already discussed this verse. And again I'm coming to the point of this, how great Srila Prabhupada. This book, manuscript of this Bhagavad-Gita, it was lost, I think, 3 times. And it was a very great work of Srila Prabhupada, again and again, regained this book. And at last, this book was printed, I think, in San Francisco, in USA. And it came to us as this book. And greatness of Srila Prabhupada that he, without any considerations, he's sharing with us his great knowledge. He's self-realized person. He's already, not already, he came to us from spiritual world actually. And he's sharing with us this such great compassion. And actually only Paramahamsa like him, he can do this. And in scriptures there said that pure devotee of Lord is more merciful than Lord himself. So Srila Prabhupada proves this point. And here, especially this yoga of the Supreme Person, Purushottama Yoga. Purushottama is Lord Jagannath himself. He's from Purushottama Dham, from Jagannath Puri. He resides in Jagannath Puri. So this month we are praying and we are glorifying Lord Jagannath. He's Purushottama. Purusha Uttama. Purusha means the enjoyer, the only enjoyer in this world, like in spiritual or material world, he's only enjoyer. And Uttama, he's the highest person, highest enjoyer. And this Purushottama month is very beneficial because in this month we can increase our piety. But not only piety, we are not after piety. We can increase our devotion, our love to the Lord. We can cleanse our consciousness up to the extent that we can understand more clearly what actually means to be in Krishna consciousness. So to link our consciousness, our very, very small, minute consciousness, we are very minute, this 10,000 parts of the hair. So this is our size. And actually this size, even not this size, it's much smaller. Srila Prabhupada in manuscripts gives this size just to compare, just to give the image with what we can compare ourselves. So our consciousness is so minute. And such Paramahamsas as Srila Prabhupada, they want to link our consciousness with the great consciousness, this unlimited consciousness of Krishna. And Krishna is more inclined to bring us to spiritual world than we ourselves. He wants us come to Him more quickly, more fast. If we are doing one step to Him, Krishna does 10 steps. If we started coming more fast to Him, He's running towards us. But pure devotee of the Lord, He's more merciful, even Lord Krishna. And we can have hope that only by the mercy of such Paramahamsa as Srila Prabhupada we can be saved. We are already saved, but to go to the spiritual world is not easy task. This is not cheap things. And this, in this verse, Srila Prabhupada himself says, the surrendering process is described here very nicely. We should surrender. Surrender to Krishna, to His lotus feet, and not seek for any other shelters from anybody else. No father, no mother, no husband, no wife, no children, no relatives, no friends, no the most highest persons of this material world, even no demigods, no Lord Brahma himself. They can give us protection. When Hiranyakashipu asked Lord Brahma, give me this, give me that, I want to become immortal, make me immortality. He said, how I can give you those things which I have not myself? I'm dying myself after my 100 years. I'm living 100 years and then I'm also dying. How I can gift you those things which I haven't. So even Lord Brahma, he afraid of the death. Death is not so pleasant things. But new birth in this material world is much more terrified for spirit soul than death. I read about that. I did some research on this. So the pain of new birth in this material world are much more painful than the death that living this material world. And Srila Prabhupada himself showed to all his disciples here, just next room, he showed how to live body. He said we should live body, not like cats and dogs. Can you see anybody of you how cat or dog living body? I saw myself. They're screaming like anything. They're screaming. But human being, in the human form of life, we have intelligence, we have so many facilities just to understand what the means to be in human form of life. And then even living body, we should live body as a human beings. So making focusing on the lotus feet of the Lord. And then we will go to spiritual world. There is no doubt about that. All scriptures saying about that. So surrendering process is not easy. And Srila Prabhupada at the same time, he said that Krishna consciousness movement, which he established, and the regulative principles which he established here, and our sadhana is very easy for simple person. For complicated person is very difficult to perform. If you're easy person, simply thinking, simply surrendering whatever Gurudev said, so then it becomes very easy. But if our mind is very complicated, is too many branches on it. It wants so many things, too many branches. How said in in Bhagavad-Gita itself, I think in 2nd chapter, there's those who have many branches of this mind, their determination is never comes to surrender to Krishna. They have not such opportunity to surrender. And this step by step in this verse, it's given the process of surrender. So, free from false prestige. This is the first step. False prestige. How to be free from false prestige? For people who are outside of Krishna consciousness, for them I think it's impossible. But who came to Krishna consciousness, who joined to this movement and does some sadhana, maybe but it's also difficult in the beginning for neophytes. Many people living due to this reason, they cannot surrender their false prestige. And only those with this painful process, it's not easy to do this. But if you're seeing the highest goal, highest aim, to go to the spiritual world, to Golok Vrindavana, then you can surrender this. What is it? This false prestige in comparison with the eternal life in association with pure devotees and Lord Himself in Golok Vrindavana. And this Purushottama month is very special. Why? Because Lord Krishna Himself, He announced that this Purushottama month, because before it was Malamas, that's dirty month, because karma kandis, they cannot do their karma kandi activities in this month. It's prohibited. So they complaining about this month. Nobody likes this month. But then Lord Krishna gave the shelter to this month, and then named it after his own name, Purushottama, and became husband of this month, of this additional month. And he said, among them all months, 12 months, this month is the highest. And you can get the highest benefit. Why I'm telling now about this? Because only in Purushottama months, performing the Purushottama vratas and following to the instructions of Lord given Himself and our elders, we can get the highest benefit. Go to Golok Vrindavana. In other ways, in other performing austerities in Vrindavana, doing so many pious activities, and this and that, we can reach so many also auspicious places, like Vaikuntha, so many planets of Vaikuntha, they self-luminous, unlimited these planets of Vaikuntha, where Lord Narayana resides with Lakshmi, Mahalakshmi. Or at least we can reach the Svargaloka, the heavenly planets. But this is not our goal. Our goal is much more higher, the highest place, which Gopakumara in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he step by step, he saw all these places. Started from Lord Brahma's, from Indra's, Indraloka, Brahmaloka, abode of Lord Shiva, and this Brahmajyoti, and on Vaikuntha, he didn't even satisfied by Vaikuntha. Even though this, what is it, Vaikuntha? Vaikuntha means place there not any disturbance. No, you're completely free from any anxiety. But he didn't feel satisfaction. And he went to Ayodhya. In Ayodhya, he was not satisfied. So Lord Ram sent him to Yadavas, to Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, he saw Dwarakadhish, Lord Himself, all Yadus, beautiful and very strong kings, and there was such familial atmosphere. It was so good, but he was crying, Gopakumar. He was not even satisfied there. And then he went to Golok Vrindavana. Only there he understood, this is my abode, this is my place. And there he Krishna opened to him his name, Sarupa. And he was cousin, brother of Sridham, brother of Srimati Radharani. So this is Sanatana Goswami on the example of Gopakumar. He shows actually our step by step this surrendering process. He even became Lord Indra, this Gopakumar. He became Lord Indra. Then he became Lord Brahma. The highest position, Lord Brahma, the most clever, the most realized, most highest person in this world, material world. But still he was not satisfied. So this false prestige that I have so much, I am so important person, I have such nice family, such nice children, and everybody has such a nice reputation in the society. But it will not give the satisfaction to the soul. Soul doesn't need this. Soul doesn't need this reputation, honor. It needs something else, because the soul has a spiritual nature. And all these things around is material. As a water and oil cannot be mixed, never mixed. Oil always comes up to the surface of the water. So never this material and spiritual can be mixed together. So false prestige, it takes time and also takes hard work to give up. But for those persons who are very much determined to do this, it's possible. So then illusion comes and false association. False association means association with our family, friends, social friends, and keeping all this together. Even Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was so much attached to his family members and to the social friends. He said, even I will win this battle. What's the use of it? Because even Yudhishthira Maharaj will become a king. The human nature is like this, that if we have something, we want to show to somebody, oh, I have like this. We want to show to our friends, to our relatives. But if all relatives will die, to whom I will show all my riches, wealth? So he was more concerned about this than about the highest goals. That's why Krishna told him, how this contamination touch you, O Arjuna? You're Aryan. You know the goal of life, the highest goal of life. And the highest goal of life is self-realization, that I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul, and I'm eternal servant of the Lord, and nothing else. So this illusion and false association comes together, because as soon as we are illusioned by these three modes of material nature, immediately we need the family, family members, social friends, who understands the eternal. Next step to understand the eternal, eternity. We should understand that we are eternal. That's why the pain of new birth and death is so, unnatural to this spiritual soul. Because we are eternal. But who imposed to us all these sufferings of birth, new birth and death? Material nature. Because we wanted to enjoy here. We cannot become Krishna, because place is already occupied by himself. So He gives us opportunity to enjoy here and understand that actually this enjoyment will not give satisfaction. It's just troublesome, it's suffering, it's painful. Just get out of it. And those person who understands the eternal, he will not think about something miserable, something very cheap stuff here. We have very high goal. So why I should be attached to something temporary? We should attach to something which is eternal. That's why the gold or diamond is so costly. Did you ever see that there is a line to the jewelry shop? No line to the jewelry shop. Queue. Nobody goes to the... But queue for the subjects, for something cheap. So, because gold and diamond is the most things, the most you can keep it for a long time. But even gold and even diamond, after a long time, but it will be destroyed. So, understand eternity is not cheap thing. Our mind, because we are from life to life, we are enjoying in this material, trying to enjoy in this material world. But to understand eternity, we should associate with somebody who knows about that, the pure devotees, who can give us this knowledge. And then who are done with material lust. Just finish with this material lust. Lust is, it's like fire, where you're putting again and again the wood. It never ever will be diminished. It will be never disappear. But if we will do ourselves the efforts, so when we understand that material lust, what is material lust? Lust is perverted form of our eternal love to Krishna, actually. But because in material world, we are thinking, we are Krishna, I'm God, I'm Krishna. So this love, lust is perverted form of our eternal love to Krishna. So we should retransform it back to the eternal love to Krishna. It takes a lot of time, but it also can be done in one moment. Srila Prabhupada said, even on the deathbed, person is dying. For one moment, you can be purified and go to spiritual world. There's so many instances in Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaj Kulashekara, in one moment. Parikshit Maharaj, in 7 days. The great examples given to us. This Srimad Bhagavatam full of examples of great Raja Rishis or Rishis, saintly persons, who are just giving up Pritha Maharaj. These great women, ladies, who are going to the fire after their husbands, to the fire, in full meditation. So all these examples given for us just to understand that it is possible. We should understand that Krishna can be achieved. He's giving us some clues, in every verse, he's giving clues that you can achieve me. I'm achievable. Who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress. And persons, dhira, the saintly persons, he's dhira, who are not disturbed, not by the happiness, not by distress. So I remember this time from Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Charitamrita, when Kirtan was going on in the house of Srivas Thakur. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was dancing in ecstasy at night, Kirtan. And suddenly everybody heard the voice of crying. Women were crying. And Srivas Thakur went to the women part of his house. And what he saw, his son, something 12 years old son, he died suddenly. And all the ladies, mother, aunties, all these relatives was crying nearby, surrounded this dead body. And he said, "Keep silence." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's dancing. Lord is dancing in ecstasy. Don't disturb his kirtan. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know about that, he was so much surprised also how this Srivas Thakur, his only one son he had, he died, and he was not disturbed by that. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give back to the life this boy. He said, no need. He left his body. He finished with his karma on this lifetime. So this is his time to go away. So no need of him to bring back. So be free from happiness and distress, also the great quality. But we are not ready now. For example, myself, I'm not ready for that. But slowly, gradually, by small parts, small steps, we can come to this point. And who unbewildered? We should become unbewildered. So should be very much fixed where we are going and what's our goal and final goal and aim of our life. I remember this Gopakumar also, when he was going from one instance to another, from one step to another, so higher. Sometimes he was becoming so much bewildered. But because he was Gopakumar, he took birth in Govardhan, in this cowboy's family. So, and in his previous life, he was some Brahmina, I think. So he had from previous life, some samskaras, good samskaras. So because he was trained, it was keeping him, and as soon he was following to his heart, to his soul, he reached the highest planet of this world. So only this person who are free from all these stages, he knows how to surrender unto the Supreme Person. Who knows how to surrender, attain to that eternal kingdom. Srila Prabhupada very much liked this verse. He brings it in introduction to Bhagavad-Gita. He said, our material life, due to our attachment and attachment and detached to this material world, it's not easy. But if we have spiritual knowledge, it can become easy. And he said, he said, we should be attached to devotional life, to devotional service to the Lord. As soon as we are performing some devotional service to the Lord, then we can be very easily go from all these steps. And he said, but if we are not attached to devotional service to the Lord, then we cannot become detached from the modes of material nature. Designations, upadis, and attachments are due to our lust and desire. This desire is the water on which this banyan tree, Ashwatha, it's replica, the reflection of the real tree of the spiritual world. Because this reflection should come from some surface. It should be mirror or glass or some polished surface. So this polished surface is our desire, our material desires. That's why we are coming again and again to this material world, because we are not fulfilled our material desires. And he said, due to our wanting to lord it over the material nature, we couldn't satisfy our material desires there in spiritual world. Krishna will not allow. Nobody will allow. Because Krishna is enjoyer. We are not enjoyers. So only he can enjoy. And if the servant very faithfully serves to master, he will also will be enjoy. He will also enjoy after. When he sees that the master is happy, when he is happy, he can give to his servant everything due to his satisfied, he's happy, so he can share with servants also. But we are not satisfied by the position of the servant. We want to be Lord, and everybody should serve to us. This is our great mistake. That's why we are here. And then Srila Prabhupada said, for one who is always expecting some honor in this material world, it is not possible to surrender to the Supreme Person. Actually, I met in my preaching work some persons when I'm preaching about descriptions. I'm giving descriptions of the spiritual world, because Srila Prabhupada said, we should be, it should attract us. We should have desire to go there, because this is a place there is no any anxiety, no birth, no death, no old age, no diseases, and there are only pure devotees around, and every step is dance, and every word is a song. Everything is beautiful. There is no any danger anywhere. So we should have desire to go there. But one person said, one man, why I should go so far somewhere else? I am very much satisfied what I am doing here. I have a very nice family, children, nice work, nice salary. I have car, very nice house. I am very much satisfied. I am enjoying my life. So, from his point of view, he's right, this person. He's on the platform of still enjoyment. But even to this person, he's enjoying now due to his pious activity in previous life. But then he's also going to die. And at the time of death, this Yamadutas will come for sure. Because when we are doing some material activity, we are doing sinful activity actually. And then that's why he's saying, Srila Prabhupada is saying, so although one comes here to the material world, stays for a brief time, everybody guests here in this material world. Everybody will go. Nobody will stay eternal here. Now he's young, beautiful, have a lot of strength, money, house, car, good wife, nice children. But times come to everybody. Everybody will become very, very old, very, very sick, and useless. So even stays for a brief time, then goes away. He has the foolish notion that he is the Lord of the world. And due to this notion, everybody thinks that he's proprietor of the land on which he lives. And he thinks, this is my country, this is my countryman, and there's so many philanthropic people who are doing all these philanthropic activities. But we should not try to save the clothes. When somebody drowned in the water, we should not try to save his clothes. Body is a clothes. We should save the soul. This is the main thing. When we are giving up all this false stuff, Srila Prabhupada said, after giving up all these stages, when we go through all these stages, so one has to develop spiritual knowledge. We should not stay, because this stopping is a death. We should move and move. Spiritual soul, spirit soul, it always moves. It cannot stay on one place. It develops to highest perfection. So we should has to develop spiritual knowledge. We should cultivate knowledge of what actually is ours, own, and what is not ours. We have only spirit soul. We are spirit soul. Nothing else we have. Everything belongs to Krishna. And at the time of death, he takes even this body, this material body, he takes away. When a person comes to the understanding, when his consciousness is pure, he cleanses it, he becomes free from all dual conceptions, he becomes full in knowledge, then it is possible for him to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We should take the examples of even Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of his mother, Uttara. He face to face saw Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, four-armed form of Lord Narayana. He saved him. He gave him new body. Body was burned by Brahmastra of Ashwatthama. Even though he saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all his life he was just cultivating the spiritual knowledge. He was a Raja Rishi. Not just Raja Rishi. So this is 5,000 years back. Also, of course, the degradation of society, of human societies, goes very fast. But by the grace of our divine grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Mahajagat Guru. So by his grace for 10,000 years, at least, he stops the influence of Kali Yuga. For 10,000 years. He said, for 10,000 years, my books will work. And what will happen after 10,000 years? Those persons who are ready now, who are attaining this spiritual knowledge, who are training themselves, they will go to the spiritual world. And those who are left here, immediately, as soon as this golden age, small window of Satya Yuga, which are now opening, it started to open. It will close, and then Kali Yuga, Kali will take full advantage of his time. Now he cannot. In 500 years before, again, he couldn't take the full advantage because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. Harinam Sankirtana everywhere. So as soon as somewhere we are glorifying holy names of the Lord or worshipping Lord, then where Harinam Sankirtana Yagya goes on, Kali cannot appear. So he's in trouble. But his season now, Kali means winter season, cosmic. In cosmic scale, now is winter, black, cold winter season. But it very warm, like springtime, due to like pure devotee Srila Prabhupada. For 10,000 years, he keeps this. And then the Kali will take full advantage. The degradation will become so fast that the people become the spiritual degradation will bring the physical degradation. in description in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that people will become 50 centimeters. Height, 50 centimeters. They become like big rats. No one city, no agriculture, no villages, nothing. They will live under the ground and eating each other. Mother will wait for delivering of your child, just to take and eat the embryo immediately. You see, you want to stay on this time? No, we should go now. For 10,000 years, Srila Prabhupada gave to us time. And for 10,000 years, I think it is possible to train ourselves in such a way that at the end of this lifetime, or Srila Prabhupada said 3 lifetimes. 1 lifetime, he said in the beginning. 1 at the end of 1 lifetime. Or 3 lifetimes. It means 1, 2, 3. 3 births you should take in human society again. But if somebody can do this for 1 lifetime, it's better to finish with all this stuff for 1 lifetime and just give up this false prestige, honor, familial associations, social association, and just keep in the mind the highest goal where we are going, actually. Thank you very much for your nice attention. If somebody has a question, please, Prabhuji, you want to say something? You give to him because somebody listening the question is also should be, you tell in the mic.
Human language like Spanish less than 100 years. So how can we repeat for 10,000?
Very nice question, Prabhuji. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada says this, and he knows. For example, yes, we are living in Kali Yuga, the span of life, so about 60, 65, 70 years. Less than somebody goes up to 80, 90. This is very, very, very rare. But you know, Srila Prabhupada telling, Bhagavad-Gita gives us answer to this. If a person performs spiritual activity, and he reached some platform, spiritual platform, even his living body not finished yet all the program, Srila Prabhupada said, he will, Krishna gives answer, and Srila Prabhupada gives in perpetual explanation. He will come back, and he will take birth in a very rich family, or in the family of devotees. Now, so many devotees, young devotees, they married, and so many children comes. You see, I'm looking to these children eyes. These children are very much self-realized, from the beginning. 1 year old mother brings him to Vrindavan. He sits on Kirtana. Just today morning I saw this one Prabhu brought his son. He's even not 1 year old. Nityananda. His name is Nityananda. He tries to take the broom to clean the samadhi. You see? So Srila Prabhupada said, they will come as children of devotees. And they will grow in a very spiritual atmosphere. So last birth, he didn't finish his program, spiritual program. Okay, no problem. Then Krishna gives next chance and the next life. So in next life, you can finish all the program and just go to spiritual world. So Krishna is very merciful, but Srila Prabhupada, Mahajagadguru, he's more merciful. And he takes away all the rest karma which are left. For example, I'm always telling when I'm preaching in Muslim countries, for example, everybody chanting 16 rounds. I said, actually, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, he said in Gaudiya Math, those who are chanting less than 64 rounds every day, they should be considered fallen persons. Fallen. But Srila Prabhupada gave us only 16 rounds, 4 times less, 16 rounds only. And then I was thinking about that, I was thinking, researching, doing research, and I came to understanding. A realization came to me. Srila Prabhupada just gave me this, like lightning in my brain. We should chant also 64 rounds, but we cannot. We are doing 16, 20. But for fulfillment of our spiritual program should be 64 rounds is the minimum. So who are chanting the rest? And suddenly understanding came to my mind. Srila Prabhupada chants the rest of our japa every day. Whatever you left, you did 16, 17, 20 rounds. The rest, Srila Prabhupada chants for us. Because he took responsibility for that. He gave his founder Acharya, his Mahajagat Guru. He said, okay, 16 rounds, no less than that. The rest, he chants every day for us. And now he's preaching in hellish planets. Just downstairs in Patalaloka. We are sitting upper and he's down. Hellish planets. For whom he's preaching there? To Yamadutas. Yes, to Yamadutas also. But also for those persons who are suffering there due to their past sinful activities. So how we should appreciate and feel ourselves so much fortunate. We are on track. Even in the beginning doesn't matter. Even we are on old age doesn't matter. We are on track. The main thing, don't go to the side. So many aside ways, small, narrow place, and they're inviting, oh, come here, you will get this, oh, come here, you will get that. No, we should go just by this track given by Srila Prabhupada. And we'll for sure come to the spiritual world, to Golok Vrindavana. Srila Prabhupada leads us to Golok Vrindavana, not less than that. Not to Vaikuntha. He leads us to Golok Vrindavana. And he will bring us because he has a power. He's a very powerful person. And he will lead us there. And even the small part of our karma will remain. He will burn this karma like anything. One time he said to his disciple, this disciple was complaining, I have so much difficulties, this difficulty, I cannot manage anything. Srila Prabhupada said, just bring me these difficulties to me, I will kick them all. No one difficulty will be with you. You are free from all difficulties. Because he was taking all these difficulties to himself. So Srila Prabhupada is very powerful. We are on the track, and hopefully in this lifetime, then if not, then chance we have 2-3 lifetimes to go. So we are in this 10,000 years of Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga is already started. It's very early stage, like Brahma Muhurta time of Satya Yuga now. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that when this planetarium, Vedic planetarium, will be built and will start work, the Satya Yuga will be full blossom, like lotus petal will open. So the Mayapur's lotus is opening. This spiritual world. As soon as this Vedic planetarium will open and started to work, So whole universe, not only our planet Earth, whole universe will be affected by that. Again, the Kali has no advantage of taking advantage of his time for 10,000 years. So we should be very careful of that. Of course, Krishna takes care of that. For him, eternity. Even those persons who will live after these 10,000 years, Kalki Avatar comes at the end of Kali Yuga, and he will kill all the demons, and innocent he will take to new Satya Yuga, to the circle of 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dvapara, Kali again and again. But we devotees don't want to be engaged in this circle. We should go out of this circle. So Srila Prabhupada gives us a chance. For 10,000 years we should be trained ourselves. And even these children, some of them, there was some instances, these children, newborn children, they're remembering their previous lives. They're coming to Vrindavan, they're very familiar with Vrindavan. They were already here on their previous lives. So this accumulation of this spiritual knowledge goes on. It never goes away into the vein. It will come again and again to our heart and accumulate. We can forget our previous material body, but spiritual body with us, nobody can take it. It with us. And it's our responsibility to make it grow. Like child grows by very nice food, love of mother and father. So in the same way, the spiritual body grows. And the food is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, given by our father, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.